Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So I have a new nickname for you. So I know, like, if you've been with me for a while, you might know that I have the nickname of Cabbage Corn. That came through my son when I said your name one day and he heard it wrong and he thought, what's a cabbage corn? So anyways, so I have a new one for you because I sat down and I went to say in my head, okay, Capricorn, but it came out cappuccino. So there you go. Your new nickname is Cappuccino. It seems a little more sophisticated than cabbage corn, doesn't it? So maybe you're sophisticating up somehow. I don't know. Now you're cappuccino, Capricorn. So that's enough with the silliness. I'm going to do a reading for you. I'm going to find out what your story is, Capricorn, because they're interesting stories. Let me tell you. Wow. I feel like some of the stories that we've gone through this week through the Zodiac, we could make movies out of some of these stories. Every story is unique. Everybody has one. So we're going to find out what your story is. It's general. Because it's general, it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. The link to the extended is at the top of the description within this video. So, Capricorn. I still hear Capricorn though. I think that's, but it's so, you know what? A cappuccino will only take you so far. Cabbage and corn will fuel you for the day. So it's still a good one to have. All right. Capricorn, what is your story? I feel like I'm forgetting to do something here. It's really weird. What am I forgetting to do? I've shuffled. I've told you what the video is about. I don't know. Okay, that's odd. It's a weird feeling. As I said, I don't know, maybe you're forgetting to do something. It's almost that feeling when, you know, you're going to go somewhere and you got the car all packed up, you got the kids in there, you got the dog, the cat, the bird, whatever you're taking. And you're running through everything in your head. Yeah, I have it. And then you start driving. And then as you start driving, you're projecting yourself to your destination or the first stop that you're going to make. And as soon as you do that, it clicks something in your head. And then you realize, oh, if we're going to stop there, we're going to need to take the dog out of the car. And if we're taking the dog out of the car, I need the dog's leash. I didn't pack the dog's leash. It's like that. I don't know what that is. So, I don't know. That's just coming in for, so let's just see. What's your story, Capricorn? I still can't shake the feeling I'm forgetting to do something. But in your reading, I didn't feel like that until we sat down to do this. All right. Capricorn. What is your story? Oh, so of course it would be. You guys have had some of the most beautiful partnership readings. But so, okay, just as I was about to pull this card, I heard in my head, it's a beautiful story. So I don't know what it is, but it's starting with the Two of Cups. Wow, your story is really good. Oh, okay, but, all right. As I'm saying, your story is really, really good. I'm thinking to myself, boy, some people have had some hard stories. Everybody has a hard story, though. This is what Spirit wants to talk to you about, right? It's one element of your life or something you're going through right now or you've been through. It's a recurring cycle. The underlying is the Nine of Wands with the Ace of Wands and the Page of Swords. So it takes a pretty hot minute to get to where you're showing up here, what your story is. And I feel like this story is being told to you because it's the most important story of your life. It is the most important story of your life. It may not be the hardest story in your life, of your life, a part of your life. And I feel like the focus is not meant to be that for you, which is it's kind of nice in a way because we hit some pretty hard and difficult stuff this week. And some of the other signs. But your story is a beautiful story to be told. But I'm still continuing to hold these up front because it is important that, you know, even someone who's coming and cross-watching and thinking, oh, Capricorn has it so easy. Nobody has it so easy. So it's just a reminder that nobody has it so easy. It takes, you know, been through the ringer a few times with the Nine of Wands, but still standing strong. I'm hearing that Elton John song, I'm still standing. And then the Ace of Wands, and coming out almost like a rebirth. These two people look so different in terms of what they've been through or how they're physically feeling and being inspired and just knowing where to go, sort of with the Page of Swords, knowing where to go, knowing what to do, starting out, reclaiming your youth, also reclaiming your youthfulness. We're going kind of reverse from this person looks old and defeated to reclaiming a more youthful part of yourself. That's the important story here. Your card's really nice. You have the Two of Cups. You have the Four of Wands. You have the Strength card. And you have the Fool card. Yeah, it's a funny card. Wow, where do I start? Okay, the best way for me to do this reading is just to channel whatever I hear coming in. I mean, it's not going to be the only way, but it seems to be the most accessible way to get a message to you. The glue that binds. I'm hearing the glue that binds. I am hearing, too, that you bring strength. You bring strength. You're meant to bring strength in many of the partnerships that you move in and out of in this lifetime, Capricorn. The most important partnership is something that's more intimate to you. There's many ways to being read. So something that's more intimate to you. This is sort of, obviously it's the Two of Cups. It has more of a romantic sense. Two people sitting at the beach, toasting to each other, to life in general, to possibilities. And then here, this is a group. This is a group celebration. So I feel like there's something about you, like this is the one reading where I feel like the clarifiers are going to have the depth in the reading. Because on the surface, this just looks so beautiful. This is almost what you're meant to remember about your life. What you're meant to, if you were going to have your, what's it called? Epitaph? No, epitaph. Isn't that? I'm not getting that right. On your headstone. The beautiful part. It's this part here, whatever this is, however this shows up in your life, going through some difficult times, feeling like you can't win for losing. This is not meant to be the end story here. It's only kind of meant to be the foundation that solidifies you into the path of this. This is really meant to be your story, Capricorn. And in these connections, the strength that you bring and the hope, I just get strength and hope from these two cards. A level of excitement as well with the Fool card. A level of excitement, a level of believing that all things can be possible. But the Strength card is also showing us that you've been through something. You've been through something. No one shows up to the gym being able, without any sort of practice or training, being able to, bench press 200 pounds. Or I don't even know if that's, I've never tried. I don't think I could bench press 40 pounds. But being able to do something that not everyone can do. Now, the other thing that I'm also getting in this is, in this lifetime, Capricorn, you are truly meant to have a connection that is not only celebrated by yourself, but by those around you. This may or may not be a romantic connection. It feels heavily like it is a romantic connection with these two cards, but it definitely is. It could be a friendship that is so endearing and stands the test of time and stands the challenges, withstands the challenges and the cycles that one goes through in life, where people could be envious of this sort of energy, but I'm not picking that up, because it's almost like you bring them along the way with you. You're meant to bring them along the way with you. People feel celebrated. People feel seen. having an ability to calm the storm. And this sort of feels as if like the very earthly part of you is, oh, I like this. Because I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking, isn't that funny? Like Capricorn, very earthly energy, but yet you are the water goat. The water goat. There's obviously a water element to you. Emotions, we all have them. Where there's some people, some readers, I don't know, they tend to be kind of hard on some signs. Like, you don't have any water in you. You're not emotional. Or you don't have any air in you. You're not intellectual. You know, I think everybody is. It's just how we show up with it and how we use it. And this is interesting because this tornado is almost reminding me of like a cyclone. Something that has been produced by water and come to earth, which is representing sort of the water goat imagery of you. So this could be, you know, people may see you and say, you know, Capricorn doesn't show up in a lot of emotion, or Capricorn doesn't govern themselves with emotion, or Capricorn isn't very sympathetic to my situation. But I feel like there is a really strong level of being able to, it's not control your feelings, but it is to control the storm, or perhaps any negative consequences that could occur through strong feelings. And you having a capacity to know when something should be said or when something shouldn't be said, and keeping this calm, keeping this storm at bay. Yeah, there's a real maturity here that I'm getting, Capricorn. And it, I don't know, I'm the words to describe it. I feel like too, it might be something that you fall into later in life as well. That this is something that you're falling into later in life. I'm just really feeling a sense of maturity, a sense of groundedness. There's pride. There's pride that comes in with this as well. But it's pride in that you really do understand what you've been through, and how wonderful it is that you've come through the things that you've come through. And not in a very boastful way. It's just very freeing. A very freeing feeling that comes in with this. The glue that binds. I really keep hearing that. The glue that binds. So this could be your friendships, your friend groups, family, work. You are some sort of steady glue that binds, but it produces a happiness. It prevents things from getting completely out of control. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. Okay. The Nine of Wands. There's what we started with, talking about that. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands and the High Priestess. Ooh, boy, talk about navigating with your intuition and having to do it over and over again. So obviously not seeing a very clear path ahead of you. This path looks like any path that you did have was sort of wrought with coming through maybe the Seven of Wands too, right? Oh, even the Eight of Wands, which might sound funny, but the Eight of Wands in this deck shows someone trying to manage a whole bunch of wands within a tornado. But the wands are all pointing in different directions, which to me in this deck, which is the Everyday Witches Tarot, symbolizes communication not always being smooth and easy, a road gently navigated. But right now we see the tornado and harnessing it and going through periods of deep reflection, periods of there's nothing to trust except putting your one foot in front of the other each day and just managing it as you go. And as you do, you produce this. It almost seems like, wow, that wouldn't be attainable. I wouldn't see Capricorn getting that, because they seem so very grounded and so, in some ways, even bogged down by challenges throughout life. And there's a lot of mystery. It almost feels like there's a lot of mystery for you in a lot of the challenges that you face. Like, why do I face this? Why is this happening to me? What is the real reason behind this? Why couldn't it have happened like this? Why did I have to go through all of that? And I almost feel like the answer for you in that is indirect. It serves in an indirect way, because you seem to serve others here. And whether you're sort of consciously aware of that or not, you do. So if you had not gone through things in your life the way that you had, you still could have, like, you're looking at life and saying, you know, still could have got to the end of that journey, and I still could have appreciated what I had. I still could have understood it. I still could have been in it consciously 100% without going through this, that, and the other. It's that reminder that no man, no woman is an island. So how you go through these things is also important to those around you. How you go through those things is important to those around you. And that is kind of the answer, I think, for some of you that maybe you've been looking for. It's interesting. The Four of Wands. Oh, as I'm saying that, the Six of Cups comes out, and it felt like it just clarified what I said. Like your soulmates. Okay, the Four of Wands, you have the Six of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Star. This is so beautiful. You're meant to experience something very, very beautiful in this lifetime. Something that brings like a happiness, a very childlike happiness too. We have these adults sitting here with their magic wands and producing sort of magic up in the air, and the cats are jumping. It's just very exciting. It's not really holding back in this jubilation. The King of Wands and the Star. Ooh, this is that leadership energy coming in again, like with the Strength card. The King of Wands and the Star. Yeah. This is burning through the things that you need to burn through to find yourself at your destiny, to find yourself at your true point in time. This also, I'm getting a feeling like even with this, the fire sitting beside the Star card, like an alchemization that occurs within you. So almost when you're processing, you're going through difficult times in your life, you are alchemizing the environment around you. And I do feel like that this affects others. It's healing, right? The Star, it's very, very healing, Capricorn. This reading also, compared to the other readings that I've done this week, it has sort of the nuance of like no big pomp and circumstance. Because I've been through a few, like a lot of drama, a lot of, whoa, man, that's intense. Or, oh, isn't that interesting? Like, just, this is such a grounded reading, but I really feel like that for many of you, you're not necessarily the one that appears to be, for yourself and maybe even those around you, standing out in a big way. Standing out in a big way because, wow, did you hear about all the stuff that Capricorn went through? That is incredible. I can't believe it. I almost feel like people take it for granted, or you feel like people might take for granted how much you've been through in life. And it might appear to others as if, well, you know, yeah, Capricorn is just one step ahead of the other. There's no, nothing's exciting about Capricorn. But they just, you know, they managed to have it all. They managed to get this great life they have. It's but that's the outside. It feels like the outside looking in for you, Capricorn. And what these outside energies aren't realizing that you are the glue that binds. Without you, I feel like others would have a sense of chaos, a sense of like ungrounded chaos around them. But, you know, we don't realize what we have until it's gone. So if all of a sudden you disappeared, you left everything, you just packed up and you left, people would feel it. And it would show up in parts of their lives that you had nothing to do with. It's almost like just energetically you produce this real grounded feeling. And yeah, you are slow and steady getting to beautiful connections, beautiful relationships. Yeah, really. The other way I would say this is it's not sexy, but it is. It's for those that don't know how to see it. It's so sexy, actually. It's incredibly sexy. It's, yeah, right. And you're getting this King of Wands energy here, but it's kind of nestled in with the Six of Cups and the Star. It's incredibly sexy to those that really see you, to those that really see you, to those that you still have some sort of an influence on, the glue that binds. You're just Capricorn. Honestly, I'm just going to tell you, you're just Capricorn. But not everybody needs to see exactly what it is. It's funny I'm saying that. And the cards that are coming out. The Hanged Man. For the Strength card, the Hanged Man, the Four of Swords, and the Five of Wands. My God. It's like you could stand in the background and just your presence has the capacity, this is what we're clarifying, has the capacity to calm the storm. You can see through the storm. You know exactly what the storm is. You know what created it. And you know what will get that storm to settle. And it's not necessarily what the energy that others are putting into it is going to do. This kind of, I would describe this energy too as like a sage or, yeah, like an old sage. I think, yeah, and I do often when I've come into, I haven't felt it in a long time, but that's the kind of energy that's coming in here right now, like old witches and warlocks, sort of just really grounded. You really have a taste for the earth, and you come off as being really incredibly grounded. Like a battle. I'm sorry if none of this is being like terribly attractive or sexy, but like a battle-worn ox or a battle-worn Clydesdale, like just this really big, I don't know, there isn't even, I'm really struggling for the words here to, I wonder if some of your friends or your colleagues would struggle to sort of describe exactly who you are and what you do for them. It's because your presence is really, really taken for granted. At least you might see that in that way. But I really see something quite beautiful here. The Fool. My goodness. The Fool card, which was coming in after the Strength card. You have the Tower, the Ace of Wands, and the Strength card. There's a lot of sexiness here. There's, I feel like you pull back a lot too. I feel like you pull back a lot in, how, yeah, there's a sexiness coming in here with this. This is really hard to avoid. And then the Strength card, though. I feel like it's a lot for you sometimes to not show how incredibly sexy. I'm really trying to get the right word for this. I'm having so much difficulty. I'm not usually lost for words like this, Capricorn. Okay, so what I'm picturing like a masculine energy, and I do apologize to any feminine energies that you're like, well, I don't see myself that way. I think the easiest way for me to describe this is how I would see this energy. So I see this as like an older gentleman, someone who's, you know, his hair has gone gray. It's kind of solid. You know, when people get older, we all tend to get a little thicker. We tend to get like a little bit thicker broader shouldered, but there's nothing like standing out. I am seeing someone with sort of like a graying beard too. So that could be like an indication too of just wise, almost like a Santa, but not as chubby. Santa, Capricorn, but not as chubby. But this is a place that you can go and you absolutely know if there's a tool there that you need in that person's garage, they have it. If there's an answer to a question that you're looking for, they have it. And I want to say as well, like, okay, so this is also the feminine way that I'm seeing this. I wouldn't describe her as a plain Jane. And even that doesn't feel like, well, what is a plain Jane? And what does that even mean? You don't fall into the parameters of what we see in Hollywood, like a star and Indiana Jones. You fall into what people feel comfortable with. It feels like home. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at, Capricorn. And forgive me, but I do feel like I'm also representing those around you that would try to describe what makes you so darn, like the ones that see you in this. The ones that really say, that's my Two of Cups. That's the person that I feel like I want to go to their house and I want to have dinner with them and play a game of Monopoly or like, it's just, you feel like home. That's exactly what it is. You feel like home. So whether someone has had a good or a bad experience too, with the Six of Cups, like this nostalgia, your childhood, if someone even had a bad experience in their home life, or it wasn't very positive, it wasn't the best environment that they were nurtured in, there was something around them, maybe a neighbor or a friend's family, where they saw it and they felt it. So they kind of knew what it could be. And you are this. So you are this. You are like that comfortable blanket on a cold, rainy day. You are a cappuccino. You are a warm cup of tea. You are the salt of the earth. You are the salt of the earth. That's what you are, Capricorn. That's your story. You are the salt of the earth, because the salt of the earth, again, it's something that kind of is taken for granted. It just happens to be in the soil. You know, we take for granted too how readily available salt is now. Iodine, right? Like how important that was. Was it for goiters or or is it lymphatic, or I can't remember. It's part of something. Our glandular system, like how important that is. But again, it's not something that people think about day to day. But without it, the system would fail. And again, it's just that salt of the earth. So you bring flavor to life. You bring flavor to life. You inspire people, whether they realize that inspiration is coming directly from you or not. And sometimes this inspiration just comes from people walking away from you, maybe having a conversation or just seeing you on the street. And your presence just brings this grounded, peaceful home. It's just a feeling of home. And with that, see, now I keep going over here. So there's a part of you, though, that is not very sexy. And I think this part is, it's your strength. It's your inner strength. It's your self-control. It's really coming off. Wow. Just oozing out of these cards, actually. And I feel like I'm kind of slipping more into, like, this energy. How this energy sees and recognizes you, and most people don't. So some people might see you, so like even if Capricorn, you do tend to be really good with your career and your finances, and even if you find yourself in a career where you're not making a lot, you just seem to really have a natural ability to put the money in the right places so that you do have comfort, you do have stability. So a lot of people might think, oh, Capricorn is my Two of Cups because of physical things that they have created or been able to acquire around themselves. But the ones or the one that really, really gets you, feels it, sees through an unknown here, You are so sexy because of a lot of stuff that goes unseen. A lot of stuff that goes unseen, Capricorn. That's what you are. This has actually been one of the hardest ones for me to do with the best cards. But, okay, the underline is the Hermit. But I mean, that is a very, like, holding back, that inner strength, that, yeah. The glue that binds, Capricorn. The salt of the earth. The feeling of home. You are all these things. And I bet you most people, like, tuned out halfway through. Because it took me so long to get to this. But maybe that's it, too. It took you so long to get to this. So at whatever point you are in your life, if it feels like there are certain relationship goals that you haven't met yet, it does feel heavy on relationship here. And it could be friends, just having the right type of friends around you, the right romantic partner. I know these things might be coming to you later in life, but boy, they're well worth it. Because they're worth it at a time where you really appreciate it. And that's what I have for you, Capricorn. My goodness. So, my salt of the earth friends, I am going to go do your extended. Until next time, you be gentle with yourselves. Bye.